Hey guys, it's Eric with Midgard Arms. So I'm down here in my workroom doing some reloading, and I got to thinking of a video I did a while back, and somebody was asking me how I got my reloading table and everything all set up. Just give me empty pound of powder. But and I got to thinking, I don't think I ever went through and showed you guys how I have it set up. A gentleman was talking about how my press was set up and everything else, and it didn't look right to him. Something was up with it, so I was going to kind of give you guys a run through here. So what I have for my reloading area, very small, so I have to do everything here between reloading, anything reloading wise I do on this bench, and then I have my actual workbench right there, and I have a gun in there right now working on a old Winchester or old Remington 760 pump 30-06 over there, taking that guy apart. But it's my day off, so I'm going to do some stuff for me today. So anyway, to go through with what I got, my bench itself is only from the wall out to me about 20 inches from the wall, and my actual workable leg space, including where my vise is, we're looking at about 60 inches, so 5 feet. Okay, a lot of people say, hey, I don't have the room to reload this, that, and the other. If you use your space wisely, keep everything. I have all these cabinets right here. This has all my extra powders and everything here, so I mean, if you find a way to store everything, you'll have plenty of room to do everything as well. So first off, my presses. So right here is what I use all my sizing and everything else. My sizing, my seating, everything I do for moving brass or anything is with this one. It's a rock chucker, old RCBS rock chucker. And I have the Junior Partner press right here. The reason I have this off to the side, if you look, there is my primer seater. So what I do, I'm doing some of my 25-284 right now. You just put that in there, put your brass in, squeeze it down kind of like it's a hand priming tool, and it's seated. Okay, so that's the only thing I use that Junior Partner press for. I was at one point going to use this for sizing everything because it has a much harder camming over and everything else, and then do my seating with this, but I said, hey, that's ridiculous, you know. I do everything in stages anyway. I'm not doing one stage then the other. I do everything. I resize, decap everything, and I clean everything, and I trim everything, and you know, I do it all at once anyway. So just doing it on one system where everything's set up for one, in case this thing goes down, whatever, I can do it all on this one. So this one I literally only use just for priming. That's it, priming. Don't do any kind of sizing, anything with that one at all. Up here, so I have some kind of my handy dandy tools here. Anything that I use on a regular basis, files for trimming brass. I like to use the trim dies that go in right here, kind of look like this. Here's one I had custom made for the 25-284. It's a trim die. You screw it in, file off the excess brass on the top, chamfer it, and go on its way. So I was doing some annealing, so I got this up here right now, but I'll put that in there. But I have a little bit of everything. I have a little flashlight. I have my light up here. This here has like some oddball tools that I tend to grab more often, screwdrivers and stuff like that. I have a little pencil case here in case I need to write down notes or take measurements or anything on like overall length or what I'm doing, setting into the lands. I can do some quick math or whatever, and that's about it. So I keep all my little tools in one little, this is like a bologna or whatever you get, you know, the Oscar Mayer lunch meat deli things right there. Usually comes with a lid. I just got one of those. I keep all my little tools in there. Also, I keep my some of my not test loads, but like lengths is what I'm going after here. So this was for my 224 Valkyrie. That's my overall length I was using. So this one here is my 308. That's the actual overall length for the 168 grain ELD match bullets. So if ever I shoot all my ammo, my dies get messed up or something, whatever I have this, I can reference it back and say, hey, that's what it is. I like lead dippers. I don't do everything with lead dippers. I only dip this to actually put and weigh every charge. Little things, extra shell holders, razor blade in case I got to scrape something off. I used to use this all the time. This is a Lee Ram Prime, so I keep that there just in case this thing goes down. But ever since I got this, I've been liking this Junior press. Right here, cool little trick. This is just one of them. This is made by Stihl. This is a little chainsaw, carburetor choke adjustment screwdriver. Works perfect for cleaning out primer pockets. Also, this guy right here, I got this at Harbor Freight. I love taking the small end out, taking that and just cleaning primer pockets with that. I do have a primer pocket cleaner, but it's just the Lee one, and I find with that little tiny bastard, it cramps up my hands after doing 50, 60, 70, 100 rounds, you know. Chamfer tool. For trimming brass, I also do like these. This one's for 30-06. I was actually doing this to size up some 308 Norma brass. It's just a tiny bit longer than 30-06, so I just hook it down to the 30-06 length. Yeah, so that's what I keep my miscellaneous tools in. Whatever brass I'm working on, I have this little silver platter I picked up at like a thrift store or something like that for next to nothing, so I just got that for throwing my extra brass in. My bullets that I'm using right now. So this here, electronic cleaner. So if I use too much lube on my brass, and sometimes depending on what I'm sizing, if I do a lot of heavy sizing, I'll just use a very light mineral oil. And then if I end up getting too much inside my reloading die, I'll spray it out with this. This will take all that lube out of there. It dries really, really fast. I got another Lee Ram Prime. I always buy things in twos. So this is what I'm using now. I actually make this myself. This is in the standard RCBS case slick spray, but it's actually lanolin and rubbing alcohol. So it's like a 9 to 1, something like that. You put your lanolin in, then fill up the rest with the rubbing alcohol. It works really well, evaporates. So here in these old Spear Grand Slam boxes, I just keep more of my trimming tools and everything else in these things. These things are awesome. I love these. The Remington primers even fit right in them. So anything, this is for my Magnum stuff, so I know where all that stuff is. I keep my calipers over here for just measuring everything. Sharpie for if I have to write anything down or do anything like Dicom or anything like that. A quick, easy way to do it is that instead of buying Dicom, which can get pretty expensive. So that's kind of my setup. I always have a vise. Vise is always great, and it's mostly for the gunsmithing part of the business that I use the vise. Hardly anything for reloading, but I use the hell out of that. And that's just one of those Walmart Hyper Tough $25 3.5 inch vise. Works really good. I mean, for everything that I need for the gunsmithing, it works great. Yeah, so I think that's about it for my reloading bench. Like I said, I'm using this as my actual workstation to do any kind of work on it. Sanding blocks, you always want to use sanding blocks if you're refinishing wood. You don't want to use your fingers or anything like that because you have a tendency to cause waves and everything else in the finish. So like I said, it's a dirty mess, but I got everything right now taking this apart. So the stock was pretty well beat to shit. Had a big old crack going down it, so I fixed the cracks. Right there you can see those two little white dots. I spun some dowels down, drilled the cracks out, filled them up full of glue, put the little mini dowels. It's pretty much toothpicks. It probably would have been better making toothpicks than making those. But I'm going to do this for a buddy of mine. So engrave a little bear mountain scene there. He's Native American, so I got the little feather for the grip panels. Pretty sweet. This was his dad's favorite deer hunting rifle, little pump action .6. So keep pencils. Go at the end of the school year. Or right after school year starts or whatever like that, a month or so in, these things will be on sale. You get these things for like 50 cents for 100 of them, all over the place. Stir sticks, heavy grease. I got my air compressor here. I don't have the air compressor on, but yeah, that's essentially how it is there. Got all my roll pins, my trigger, pull gauge, all my different grinding bits, my gun cleaning stuff. Miscellaneous tools I keep up here, all the different ring sets that I have that are sitting around, drill bits, all that cool stuff. But yeah guys, so if you see here, you can get the plans to build this little thing. This is how I keep it portable, so if I need to work on something else, I can take this whole thing out of here, move it out of the way. Love this thing. I mean, I think it got the plans online for free. I mean, you can look them up anywhere for reloading a portable reloading table or reloading bench or whatever. Went to Home Depot, spent less than 20 bucks and made this with just screws and brackets and some 1x8. I think I got her 1x10. So shelving systems, okay. So I have this. This has a lot of my miscellaneous crap in here, textured finished stuff. Anything else I might need. Got some random shit in there and everything else. But right here, okay, shelving. Keep all my extra brass shit I shoot all the time. I got my 6mm or 25-06. I got more 25-06 Ackley, bunch of 308, anything like that. Shit I use all the time. Dope book for my 308 I keep in here so I can reference back when I'm making loads and everything else. See if anything I need to do. Here's that liquid lanolin that you can buy online to make your own case sizing lube. I always buy this spray lubricant from the dollar store. You use a shit ton of spray lubricant. It's essentially like a WD-40, perfect for if you're doing any kind of bluing or anything like that. You can spray it down with this, whatever, heat bluing, whatever you need, like that. Etching material for my knife making wood for handles, right down here, okay? So on this one, this is where I keep all my powders and reloading dies and some extra brass. I got some 243 brass here. All my powders I keep stacked up back here. All the main stuff I usually use, 78-28. I like that stuff for my 25-06. H414 for the 30-06. Even have some lows for the 308 Norma, but they kick like a mule. IMR 4350. I do like that stuff, but I'm almost out and it's a little harder to find, so I kind of switched to my 4831. 4831 shortcut. This is what I normally use for my 25-06 Ackley and my regular 25-06, and my even 25-284 is just IMR 4831. I try to keep at least 3 pounds of that on hand. I'm down to 2 pounds now, so I gotta find some more. H1000, perfect for your 7 mag. That's what I use. Some 4064. I use that for my son's 243. Some more 78-28 back there. And some H4895. That's what I use for my 308. And that's why I haven't been shooting that thing lately. I cannot seem to find that anywhere. Even Cabela's, the reloading store up in Boise. I don't want to spend their prices, and I think they're out anyway. Last time I checked. Yeah, so I keep everything else right here. I have an extra scale. I have my stuck brass kit down here. I got my bullet puller, hammer, all my primers I keep in a sealed tin right here, just so there's no, because I have my own business license and everything else, I'm subject to ATF coming out and checking everything, and even the city where I lived can come out and check everything, make sure I'm not harboring explosives or not. I do have a manufacturing license, and I'm allowed to keep some explosives, but I got to keep everything. I got to keep actual explosives like the primers locked up and everything else in a fireproof safe, fireproof type container, which I'm hoping that suffices, but they haven't bitched at me yet about it. So yeah, and that's about it, man. So everything I have in here, as you can see, this is just the basic old shop. I got shit everywhere, even a litter box down here. I keep stuff even in the rafters. Here's my barrel vise up here. I got it mounted up here to the rafter beams. Makes torque and everything, and even pulling off stubborn barrels a dream. And I got another Mauser coming here soon. It's going to be a Spanish Corona Mauser. I think I'm going to make my wife something, trying to convince her. I got 25-06 or I got 25-06 chambering reamer, and I got 25-06 headspace gauges and stuff like that. So I'm going to see if she'll want to shoot the 25-06. The ones I have are too heavy for her, so I'm going to take her out maybe today, Wednesday, next Sunday, something like that, and have her shoot it, see if she likes it. If she wants it herself, wants one of those herself, I'm going to be building another 25-06 off of that. If not, I might, if she doesn't like the recoil, I think I'm going to go to the 6.5 Swede. So trying to convince myself just to go for the 6.5 Swede anyway, because I have several 25-06s and 25 caliber stuff. I love the quarter bore, and yeah. So that's it, guys. That's my reloading setup, how I got it set up, why I have 2 presses and why it looks weird when I'm kind of doing reload and everything else. It's because I use this one just for primers, do everything else on this one. Ball module, I'm going to be doing some more 25 284. Just got done annealing and resizing some 284 brass, and going to go from there. Alright you guys, just wanted to give you a run through of that. See ya.